today for math, we are going to review the charts really quickly. And it is the chapter review page, which is very like the test. And normally I have you do this on your own completely. You need to sit up. This is not enough time. Sit up. But there is that one section that I want to talk to you about to remind you again what my expectations are for the test. All right, today I am not going to do the time measurement chart because that is not on this test. That was on the clock test. So we're going to start with the measurements of weight. What is the only measurement of weight that you need to remember?
16 ounces equals 1 pound.
Yes, 1 pound equals 16 ounces, and that will come into play on today's paper, and most probably you will need to know it for the test. 1 pound equals 16 ounces. All right, then we have measurements of capacity. So they are 1 pint equals 2 cups, 1 quart equals 2 pints, and 1 gallon equals 4 quarts. Or the fun way to do it may be 2 cups in a pint, 2 pints in a quart, 4 quarts in a gallon. So make sure you know those. All right, then we learn measurements of length. Remember, it could be length, which is how long something is, or height, or distance for long ones. And we learned that, well, let's draw on this side, 12 inches equals 1 foot, 36 inches equals 1 yard, and 3 feet equals 1 yard. All right, and then for the longer distances, we learned 1 mile equals 5,280 feet, and 1 mile equals 1,760 feet. All right, then yesterday we were looking at thermometers, and what you need to know is basic thermometer. We're doing Fahrenheit only this time. So the ones we learned were boiling point, freezing point, and normal body temperature. So what was boiling point? 212 degrees Fahrenheit. What was freezing point? 32 degrees Fahrenheit. And what was normal body temperature? 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. And you need to know those because you need to know if they give you a temperature, you need to know if that's going to be a hot temperature or a cold temperature, right? So if 32 is freezing, then anything less than 32 is definitely going to be cold. The 60s, 50s, and 40s, that would be cool. And once you get into the 70s, you're starting to get warm, and by the time you get to the 90s, you're really hot. Even in the high 80s would be really hot, okay? Because you will need to know that for certain things on the test. All right, the only one I want to do with you is that one section I was talking about where I will expect you to change one side or the other so that you're comparing like measurements to like measurements. So I need you to stop doing that noisy pencil playing that somebody is doing over there and get your attention up here. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to skip this first section. When you are doing this paper or when you are doing the test, if you're not sure what one of these things are in this picture, what do you need to do?
Ask.
Yes, you need to ask. Even if you think you know what it is, but you're not sure, you need to ask. Because if you think it's something and that's not what it is, you might end up getting it wrong. Do you understand? In the second section, you're going to number, look, there's two sections here. There's number 11, which says cup, gallon, and quart, and then there's number 12, which says yard, foot, and inch. I had somebody one time number those 1 through 6. Do cup, gallon, and quart even go with yard, foot, and inch?
No.
No, so you're supposed to look at cup, gallon, and quart and number those 1 through 3 according to which one is the smallest. And is the smallest number 1 or number 3?
1.
Number 1. The smallest is number 1, and as you get bigger, you number 2, number 3, and so the number 3 is the biggest one. And then you look at number 12 where it says yard, foot, and inch, and you should be numbering those number 1, 2, 3. Does everyone understand that?
Yes.
All right, this next section at the bottom, number 13, that's the one we're going to do together because I want you to understand what we're doing. So it says 22 pounds, and I'm going to abbreviate it even though I don't think yours is abbreviated. You need to put that away right now because you are making a lot of noise with it. That is very distracting. When you need it, then you can get it back out. But right now, you're playing with it. All right, so it says 22 pounds on one side and 16 ounces. All right, one of you was already asking me, what is 22 pounds in ounces? Do you really even need to figure that out? No. Do you even know how to figure it out? 22 times 16? No, we haven't learned that. But if you look at this side, what does that say?
16 ounces.
Do you know 16 ounces?
It's 1 pound.
Yes, it's 1 pound. So over here on this side, above it, you can write 1 pound. Now you're comparing 22 pounds to 1 pound. Which one's bigger?
22 pounds.
22 pounds. All right, whoever's ruler that was, put it away. Is that still yours? Was that still you making that noise with your ruler? Who is dropping their ruler? Please put your rulers away. You can put them in the front of your desk and you can get them out very quickly when it's time to use them. Put your ruler completely away. I don't want it sticking out of your desk. Do you understand me? You can get them from the front of your desk as soon as you need it. Every single time I know somebody's gonna play with it. That's why I don't want them out. All right, going to number 14. It says 2 feet and it says 1 yard. All right? I'm just gonna put it below here like this. 2 feet and you're comparing it to 1 yard. Now I had somebody one time that above this, they wrote 36 inches. Was that the thing to do?
No.
No, because is this side inches?
No.
Grace Taylor, I really need you to pay attention to what's going on here because you're going to be expected to be able to do this on your test. And how are you going to be able to do this on your test if you're not paying attention? So this side is not inches, right, Eric? So you don't change this side to inches, you need to change this side to feet. How many feet are in a yard?
3.
3. So above 1 yard, you're going to write 3 feet. Now you're comparing 2 feet to 3 feet. Which one's bigger?
3 feet.
So gobble up the 3 feet. 2 feet is less than 3 feet, or 2 feet is less than 1 yard. That is how I expect you to do these. All right, the next one in that row says 2 yards, and it says 36 inches. All right, 2 yards. It also says 36 inches. Now, we could change 2 yards to inches, but do you know what 36 inches is? It's 1 yard, so wouldn't that be easier to come over here to the 36 inches and say that 36 inches is 1 yard? You should know these measurements. You should know these measurements, but if you didn't know that 36 inches was 1 yard, then you probably wouldn't have gotten 2 yards right anyway, because you wouldn't have been adding the number together correctly. Because no matter what, you need to know how many inches are in a yard, right? So since 36 inches is what's in a yard, then just put 1 yard. Now you're comparing 2 yards to 1 yard, gobble up. 2 yards. So you're saying 2 yards is greater than 1 yard, or 2 yards is greater than 36 inches, which is the way it was written. You got it? All right. Now I'm going to erase that and we'll do the next 3, which is the second row, starting with number 16. Was there anybody that didn't get that yet? All right, so I'm good to erase it. All right, so let's look at number 16. What does number 16 say? It says 1 foot and it says 12 inches. Again, yours is not abbreviated. I'm going to abbreviate it. All right, so this one, it doesn't matter what you do. 1 foot is what?
12 inches.
Or you could come over here to 12 inches and say that it's
1 foot.
It doesn't matter which one you do. If you know that 12 inches is a foot, you can put 1 FT over there, and you're comparing 1 foot to 1 foot. Or you can go above 1 foot and put that 1 foot is 12 inches. 12 inches, 12 inches? Equal. Very good. But no matter what, you have to change it so the other side, you're comparing like to like. You can go over here and write 1 foot. You don't have to do both. You do not have to do both. Just do one or the other. The next one says 1 gallon, and it says 4 quarts. So, actually you don't need the S. I don't know why I put the S. 4 quarts, that's QT period. Okay. So 1 gallon is how many quarts? 4 quarts. So above 1 gallon, right? 4 quarts. So 4 quarts, 1 gallon, that is? Equal. Another one that's equal. All right, and the last one says 1 pint, and it says 3 cups.
change 1 pint to 2 cups.
Yeah, but why are you blurting out? Oh, it doesn't say 2 cups, I just wrote 2 cups because he just said that. It says 3 cups. Alright, so you go to the 1 pint side, how many cups are in a pint? 2. So above it, put 2C for 2 cups. Now you're comparing 2 cups to 3 cups. 2 cups is? Smaller, so you gobble up the 3 cups. 2 cups is less than 3 cups. 1 pint would be less than 3 cups. That is the way I expect them to be done. On the homework, on the test, and if you don't do this, then you will be losing points. So you need to make sure you do it that way. Alright, on the back side of your paper, you will need your ruler to measure very carefully, and it will be to the 1/2 inch if necessary. If it's right on the number, then you don't have to worry about it. But if it is to the 1/2 inch, don't forget how to write 1/2. And if you do forget, then ask me. Then you have a little story problem. Do you guys see that story problem? Please don't skip it. It says, Bailey needs 5 quarts of water for her garden. She has 1 gallon. Does she have enough?
Yes.
Do you know that you have to write one of these kind of problems to show me? You have to write 5 quarts and compare it to 1 gallon to see if she does have enough. You have to write it out like one of these kind of problems. Then you have some thermometers that you need to do. And then you have that distance where they're giving you a key. Does everybody see the key today? It says 1 inch equals 5 miles. So for every inch you measure, when you read the question, you need to count by 5s. The last thing, we're going to do that together because we need to know what to put there. It says, Haley learned that math can even be, I can't read it, guys. You got to help me. Used to help some people's lives. Put the word lives there. My page is 1/4 of the size of your page, guys. So when I'm having trouble reading something, you need to help me out and read it. You were supposed to be reading it with me anyway. Alright, and then you will need to do your cumulative review. We're going to skip the page that's like the test. So we're skipping we're skipping reviews, page 151, 152, and we're going to save it for Monday. Monday I will be saying do 151, 152 of reviews and to study for the math test, which will be on Tuesday of next week. So I'm saving that. So what you're going to do today is you're going to do the cumulative reviews page. It is reviews page 153, 154. It's the one we normally do after the test. But we won't be doing this one after the test. We'll be doing a different paper after the test. Actually, you won't do it after the test. You'll do it in homework. But usually I do let you work on it after the test. All right, you may go ahead and